Well, after a very successful opening series against the LA Angels of Anaheim, it's the first weekend of this new 2013 season. And yes, the two teams that have the best records in all of baseball in 2012 meet for the first time here in 2013. And it's right here on Fox Sports Ohio. And a pleasant good evening and welcome to Reds Baseball. I'm Jim Kelch along with Chris Welsh. First game of a three-game get-together over the weekend, the Reds and the Washington Nationals. Now, Chris, before we talk about baseball, let me say it's great to be back with you for another year of Reds Baseball here on Fox.
Well, Jim, it's nice to have you in the booth. I'm really happy about you coming in here and picking up for Tom Brenneman, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot of games with you this year.
All right, well, let's take a look then at the pitching matchup of this series. We know the pitching matchup in the first series was good. This one equals that.
Well, you're not kidding about that. Not only is it a great matchup of two teams for the second series in a row here at Great American Ballpark, you've got good pitchers going at each other. Tonight, an older guy, Danny Herron, 32, against 26-year-old Homer Bailey. Tomorrow, Ross Detweiler against Mike Leake, finally getting this time on the mound. And then Sunday's the game that everybody's looking forward to. Each team is sending his number one pitcher out there in the name of Steven Strasburg versus Johnny Cueto. That will be a dandy.
Now, we take a look at this one. It's Homer Bailey, who won 13 games last year against Danny Herron. Let's start with Homer.
Well, Homer's a guy that, has finally become a man. I mean, he's gained 30 pounds in the last 2 years. He's got a repeatable delivery. He's got a breaking ball that he can throw over the plate. Even his bad games in spring training, in my estimation, he threw the ball very well. Now, on the other hand, you got Danny Herron. Danny Herron is really coming off the worst season of his career. He doesn't throw the ball like he used to. He used to be mid-90s guy, no longer. He doesn't have a big curveball anymore. It's more cutter, splitter. He nibbles at the corners, and he hopes that the batters are going to start to chase. We'll see if the Reds have to be a little bit more patient at the plate when they face Dan Herron, because he doesn't have the stuff to blow you away.
Herron, of course, a free agent signee by the Nationals in the offseason, so he'll make his first ever start for the Nats here tonight. All right, coming up, center of attention for the Nationals so far offensively, last year's National League Rookie of the Year, Bryce Harper.
broadcast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Fans putting on their coats. They'll need those a little bit later on. It'll get somewhat cool, but right now, as you can see, a virtual cloudless sky overhead, Great American Ballpark. Let's take a look at tonight's weather, which is brought to you by Eric Dieters, attorney at law. Here's Tim Hedrick.
New series starts tonight with the Nationals, and the best way to win the series, according to Tom and Marty and Cowboy and Chris, win the first one. Weather looks just fine. 57 first pitch, halfway home 54. Heading for home about 52 degrees. Get them on, get them over, and get them in. Weather looks great for tomorrow as well, so get down to the ball yard and enjoy this game on Fox Sports Ohio.
All right, Tim, thanks for the shout-out. Chris, what about this guy off to a hot start, Bryce Harper?
You're not kidding about that. He was off to a hot start in spring training. You know, where a lot of veterans come into spring training, they take it easy for a while. Not Bryce Harper. He was full metal to the pedal to the metal right from the word get-go. In fact, he batted over .450 in spring training, and he picked up in the regular season right where he left off. First two times he came to the plate, hit home runs. Right now he's 6 for 12, right in the middle of the order for a 21-year-old. He's batting third and one of the hottest hitters in the league.
Well, he won the National League Rookie of the Year last year. A lot of it on the strength of the great September that he had. And boy, he's picked up right where he ended. All right, coming up, is this a preview of the NLCS? The Reds in the Central, the Nationals in the East. Who knows? It's early, but we can always look ahead. On Fox Sports Ohio was brought to you by the Ford F-Series trucks, the best-selling truck in America 36 straight years. By Cincinnati USA Regional Tourism Network. Book your stay at CincinnatiUSA.com. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. First game of this three-game series, the Reds and the Nationals. They played early last year. They were finished by the middle of May, and that's basically going to be the case again this year between these two teams. Both winners of their division 1 year ago. Davey Johnson, the manager of this Nationals club, in his 17th season as a big league manager, and he has said this is it for him. He is finished after 2013. Let's take a look at the lineup that he puts out there for tonight's game. Newcomer Denard Span leads off. Jason Worth, the very hot Bryce Harper. In the middle, Ryan Zimmerman, Adam LaRoche, and Ian Desmond. In the bottom, it's Danny Espinoza, Kurt Suzuki, and the right-hander, Danny Herron against Homer Bailey.
33 starts for Homer Bailey last year. That was a record for him in his career. 13 wins out of that. The Reds did not get him a lot of run support last year, but boy, he pitched very well in the second half. And he picked it really up in spring training where he left off, except he came in bigger and stronger than ever before. And I think what you're going to see out of Homer Bailey is a guy that can repeat his delivery. He doesn't get routed on the mound, and he is really poised for a breakout year.
Well, let's see what he can get done here. He works against this lineup of Denard Span, the newcomer to the Nationals, then Jason Worth, then Bryce Harper. And he's at a ball and a strike. Span hit in all 3 games of the series against the Marlins at home for this Nationals club. He's 3 for 9 with a run batted in. Shade him the other way in the outfield. They pitch him outside, and Hannigan catches that ball low and away at 2 balls and 1 strike.
You know, both of these clubs had a shopping list over the winter, was to go out and get a leadoff hitter. Maybe the toughest thing in baseball to find. The Nationals got Span. Of course, the Reds got Chu.
2 balls and 2 strikes now to Denard Span.
That was a great catch by a concessionaire. That ball went right into the beer bucket.
How about that?
Right in here.
You get to use the telestrator early for
right
great
place,
purposes.
right spot, right time.
Big smile. All right, now the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll get it straight here early on for this 26-year-old out of LaGrange, Texas, Homer Bailey, one of the best pitchers in baseball, Chris, after the All-Star break left.
Well, the game that he pitched for the Reds against the Giants in the playoffs was the best one pitched by any Reds pitcher. 7 innings of 1-hit baseball against a team that eventually won the World Series.
He didn't allow a hit until a Marco Scutero single in the 6th inning of that game. He struck out 10, and that was game 3, and by all accounts should have been, the way he pitched, should have been the wrap-up of that series. How about that number on the bottom of that? Only 88 pitches for 7 innings worth of work. This Nationals club swept the series against the Miami Marlins, winning 2-0 and 3-0 and then 6-1. Did not allow a run in the first 19 innings of that 3-game get-together with the Marlins. Only a Justin Ruggiano home run in the 2nd inning yesterday stopped them from having 3 straight shutouts. Votto moving to his left will feed Bailey. Close, but Span is out. And a good defensive play to get us started here tonight.
Pretty good at bat by Denard Span. He made Bailey really work hard, threw some extra pitches, finally on a 3-2 count. Span puts the ball on the ground, and Joey Votto feeds Bailey in time to get the runner at first base. The key to that play, Joey Votto getting the ball to Bailey before he got to the bag.
So the leadoff man is out, and the batter now will be Jason Worth. Big home run for Worth yesterday. Part of that 6-1 victory. It came late in the game. It extended their lead from 3-1 to 6-1. He's 2 for 12 here in the early going. Worth played in only 81 games for this Nationals team last year. He had that broken wrist, and he basically missed 3 months of the year. Same type of injury that Jay Bruce suffered a couple of years ago, right near the All-Star break. Ended up a year ago hitting 300, but only 5 home runs. A big power guy for Philly when he was with the Philadelphia Ball Club.
Well, that's a nice, easy delivery by Homer Bailey, delivering the ball at the knees at 95. You know, if you compare Homer Bailey's delivery now than when he first came up when he was 21 years old, he's 26 now. I mean, he's more fluid, he's stronger, and it's repeatable. He keeps his head perfectly still.
To the left of Frazier. Todd will cut it off and make the throw in time to first base. Take a look at our defensive alignment for the Reds, brought to you by your Ford dealers. Behind Homer Bailey, it's Heisey, Chu, and Bruce in the outfield. Frazier and Cozart, Phillips and Votto across the infield. Bailey throws to Hannigan. Same lineup the Reds have used minus the pitcher for 3 consecutive games. And there's Shin-Soo Choo, both offensively and defensively. Gotten off to a very good start. Boy, he made a heck of a throw yesterday, didn't he?
He's got a strong arm. I think Reds fans, as they see him play throughout this season, are going to be more and more impressed with all the different things that Chu can do. But throwing is one of the better parts of it.
Harper at the first pitch, lofts it into left field, and Heisey will handle it. And Homer Bailey has a 1-2-3 first against the Washington Nationals. 1/2 complete. Here come the Reds. The right-hander Dan Herron as Dusty Baker leads his Reds into the second series of the 2013, having taken 2 out of 3 from the Angels. Another big test here against the Nats, and here's his lineup tonight for game number 4. Shin-Soo Choo, Chris Heisey, and Joey Votto, Brandon Phillips, Jay Bruce, and Todd Frazier. Then the bottom 3 include Zach Cozart, Ryan Hannigan, and Homer Bailey. And minus the pitcher, 3 consecutive games now the Reds have used the exact same lineup. They did not do that a year ago until the first 3 games of the National League Division Series. Stability already in the lineup early for Dusty's club. Danny Herron, Chris.
Now, Danny Herron, originally drafted by the Cardinals out of Pepperdine University. In fact, he made his major league debut as a Cardinal at age 22 back in 2003. He's been a very fine right-handed pitcher ever since. 5 different ball clubs. But what you see out of Herron now is not what you used to see. You used to see a fastball that would be well above 90 miles an hour, big curveball, a lot of strikeouts. But now he's had to be one of those guys, as you get older, you lose your speed and you got to nibble a little bit more.
He's had a ball on the strike to Chu, who's gotten off to a good start. 4 of 12, including that home run that started the game yesterday. The leadoff long ball, the 6th of his career. He had 5 of them all last year as a member of the Indians. And really, he has been, I know it's only 3 games, but he's been everything you thought and hoped he would be.
Well, at this point, since you only have a small sample size, you watch the approach. You watch him in every at-bat, not necessarily whether you get a base hit or not, but you watch the battle that a hitter gives the pitcher. How tough of an out are you? And you're looking at one of the toughest outs on this ball club right now. I mean, I don't expect that to change.
This one in the air to left. Bryce Harper is out there. And Harper, who played center field most of the year last year for Davey Johnson's club, makes the catch. Speaking of defense, let's take a look at our 4 dealers defensive look at the Washington Nationals. There's Harper out in left, newcomer Denard Span in center, Jason Worth in right. On the infield, it's Ryan Zimmerman and Ian Desmond left side, Danny Espinosa, Adam LaRoche right side. Kurt Suzuki catches Danny Herron tonight. There's Denard Span, the newcomer, the former Minnesota Twin. Came over in November, as Chris talked about, late last year. Span was one of the guys the Reds actually were interested in and looking at near the trade deadline last year. Heisey goes the other way. Worth will retreat and on the warning track haul that ball in. So 2 fly balls, 2 out here in the bottom of the first. And the batter will be Joey Votto.
You've really got to make Danny Herron throw strikes here. Chris Heisey chased the pitch up and out of the strike zone right there, and you're playing right into what Herron wants you to do. He's not a guy that has the stuff to be able to just battle you right down in the middle of the zone. He's going to make you pick up pitches that are pitcher's pitches. I doubt that Joey Votto is one of those guys who's going to buy in. I mean, he'll make you throw strikes and make you go throw good strikes before he commits himself.
You see Votto hitting 100. He's 1 for 10. His lone hit was that ball hit sharply that trickled off the glove and into shallow right field of Albert Pujols on Wednesday. It allowed the Reds to score the winning run and win that game 5-4. Herron last year 176 and 2/3 innings. Notable in that it ended a stretch of 7 consecutive years in which he had worked at least 200 frames. He's their version of Bronson Arroyo.
Well, he's always been a quality pitcher.
Base hit for Votto. He's on with 2 men out.
Herron has been a 3-time All-Star. Twice he's been in the top 10 in Cy Young Award voting. He's won 15 or 16 games, it seems like, the last 4 or 5 years until last year. Won 12 games last year with the Los Angeles Angels. Overall, though, he's about 22 or 23 games over 500 in his major league career.
And he basically replaces Edwin Jackson in their rotation. Jackson, of course, signed a long-term deal with the Cubs. Brandon Phillips now takes strike 1. Of course, they went without Steven Strasburg in the playoffs last year. Gio Gonzalez made a couple of starts. Jordan Zimmerman, Ross Detweiler, whom we'll see tomorrow afternoon. And now this newcomer, Danny Herron.
Well, you know, Jim, both of these teams are very similar in as much as they feel like they left a lot on the table last year. They felt like the Washington Nationals and the Reds, that they had better teams than what they showed in the playoffs. The Nationals lost to the St. Louis Cardinals in the division series. And the Reds were home to watch the playoffs on TV also.
And I don't know which one was more painful. The Reds winning the first 2, then dropping 3 at home, or the Nationals, who had a 6-0 lead after 3 in Game 5 of that series against the Cardinals, only to lose.
Well, it's very painful. I mean, the Nationals won 98 games and the Reds won 97 games, and they failed to advance beyond the first round.
Votto started to go, then stopped. Phillips swings at the 1-2 and doesn't get it. He's a strikeout victim. Votto is stranded in the first. 1 complete, no score. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Look at the discrepancy here, home and away on these pitchers, particularly Homer Bailey.
Well, Homer Bailey, you know, when he got on the road last year, he was lights out. A lot of those games he pitched were in Pittsburgh and in division games. But, you know, sometimes the home ballpark will get on your brain a little bit. And I think that's in the past for Homer Bailey. I think that's something that you're not going to see that big of a spread this year because the guy has matured light years in the last few years as his preparation for pitching.
And as we were talking about earlier, that playoff game he pitched was right here in this ballpark. He had a 1-2-3 first. He gets the Nationals' third baseman Ryan Zimmerman to get things started here in inning number 2.
You know, when you have a repeatable delivery like Homer Bailey has now, you can spot your fastball. So if you look at the last year and say, why did Bailey have a breakout year? 2 things. Number 1, he stayed healthy all year long. Number 2, he moved his fastball around at will.
He falls behind here now to Zimmerman, 2-1. Zimmerman also off to a good start. 3 for 3 in yesterday's game and now 5 for 10 this year. '25 home run man a year ago, Ryan Zimmerman.
Well, a lot of fastballs for Bailey this first time through the order. You're wondering if he's trying to go fastballs first time through the order, then the second time through the order break out his slider and his other stuff.
Fastball there, and that's just a safety swing really by Zimmerman, isn't it?
And ideally that's what you want to do as a pitcher. You'd love to be able to go through the order the first time and show them really only one of your pitches. Then the second time through you can throw them maybe a slider. Third time through now you've got a combination fastball, slider, and your splitter to throw. Homer doesn't throw a cutter. He throws just really a 4-seam fastball and a 2-seam fastball.
Came up, remember, with that big old 12-6 curveball when he first made his way onto the scene.
Good night.
He gets a fastball painted over the outside edge, and Zimmerman turns, cap in hand, back to the dugout. Strikeout number 1.
I'll tell you what, here's the action on his fastball that he never had before. And you can see it starts off the plate. Ryan Zimmerman gives up on it. It comes back and clips the outside corner. That is a pitch that you really can't defend.
That's the Sam LeCure 2-seamer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here's Adam LaRoche. The very relaxed stance of the veteran Adam LaRoche. 33 years old now, re-signed in the offseason with this Nationals club. Is there a guy in baseball that has a more relaxed stance up there than this fellow? I don't think there is. Looks like he's ready to play a slow pitch softball.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what it looks like, is a slow pitch. He hits home runs like he's playing in slow pitch softball. 33 of them last year, 100 knocked in.
He's a Gold Glover last year, a Silver Slugger Award winner last year. Just part of a big year for these Nationals.
You know, and it's remarkable too because he's not really a big guy, and you watch him swing and you think, well, that's not really a power swing. I mean, we saw power when we saw Mike Trout and Albert Pujols and Mark Trumbo. This guy, you know, is skinny by comparison, but he's got good bat speed and he's able to drop the bat head on the ball.
Homer blows it by him there at 90 up in the zone, and now it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. LaRoche came up with the Braves. Remember him playing for Bobby Cox's club. He's also worn the uniform of the Pirates, the Red Sox. Remember him with the Arizona Diamondbacks. He actually signed a 2-year deal in the offseason, so much so that they kept LaRoche, traded away Michael Morse, moved Harper to left, went out and got Denard Span. Let's see if this is playable now for Frazier. He has plenty of room in foul ground, and he'll handle it. 5 up, 5 down thus far for Homer Bailey. Two out. The batter is Ian Desmond.
Well, you know, the Nationals come in, they're flying high. They won 3 in a row against the Miami Marlins, you know, so they're feeling good about themselves. But they also know that this Reds ball club is you can't even compare them to the Marlins this year. The Marlins have traded away a lot of their major league players. They're rebuilding, and the Reds are ready to win. And they realize that this is a ball game, this ball series anyway, that comes early in the year against one of the best teams in the league. So it'll be a good test for the Washington Nationals. It'll be the second good test in a row for the Reds.
Remember, Chris, last year the Reds opened the road schedule in Washington and then had the Nationals in here in middle of May, so they were finished with them by the middle of May. And basically, that's the same story again this year. Hammered down the left field line, but foul. 2 strikes. Reds at the end of April go to Washington, so they'll be finished with this Nationals club this year on April the 28th, 2 weeks earlier than they were a year ago. All the 7 games between the two teams will be finished. As we talked about earlier, is this a preview of a playoff matchup? Well, we'll have to wait many a months to see if the two can go over the long haul and get to the postseason. They would face off together. Many people picking this Nationals club to win not only the National League but the World Series. Strike 3 call.
He didn't need to go back and get another bat.
Homer Sharp, 6 in a row, couple of strikeouts, inning and a half, no score. Hal McCoy writes that winning the series against the Angels was more important for the Reds than just 2 wins. And don't forget that you can chat with Hal every home game on FoxSportsOhio.com via Game Connect. Plus, find out which Bearcat player is hopeful that NFL clubs are willing to forget his past mistakes. Get complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports. Brought to you by 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Drive safe, spend less. Scoreless into the bottom of the second. Jay Bruce, Todd Frazier, Zach Cozart against the deliveries of Dan Herron. Nobody has gotten off to a slower start on this Reds team than this fellow, Chris.
Well, he looks jittery at the plate. We've seen Jay go through times like this when, you know, he just doesn't seem like he's ready to bat, that he's not relaxed out there. And there have been all sorts of suggestions for Jay, one of which is, how about a little pre-batting box routine? You know, like a golfer goes through the same routine before he hits a shot every time. Sometimes Jay does one thing and then he jumps back into box real quick. Other times he puts one foot out of the box and he gets back in there. And I think if he could just slow his pace down a little bit, it would give him a little reason to be more relaxed.
He will swing at the 2-2 here and miss. So Bruce strikes out. That gives him 8 strikeouts now in 14 early season at bats. He's 1 out of 14. Second strikeout for Heron. The batter now will be Todd Frazier.
We're talking to some scouts before the game today, and they're unrelated to the Reds entirely, but they're here watching the Reds and scouting the Reds, and they are more impressed with the advancement that Todd Frazier has made. Well,
Like that. High, deep, and into the upper deck in left field. Bomb number 2 for Todd Frazier. And the Reds jump in front here in the bottom of the second, 1-0. As if on cue, Chris.
Well, to complete the thought, the notion was that Todd Frazier's bat speed has increased tremendously from the time he first got into major leagues. I mean, he's a big, strong guy, and he gets a fastball right there and doesn't miss it.
Here's Cozart. He shoots one out to left. That ball is gone. A home run. Just got over the yellow line. Zach Cozart. His first hit of the year gives the Reds back-to-back solo shots.
Now, Davey Johnson's going to come out and say, hey, would you guys take a look at this, because I think there was fan interference. That ball should not have been a home run. He's going to ask Jordan Baker to get all the umpires together. Tim McClellan, the first base umpire, is the crew chief.
Well, let's take a look.
It's got to go over the yellow line in order for it to be a home run. And you can see there's a fan reaching out right there. And
tell you what, that's going to be a difficult call.
I guess they're not even going to review it.
No, they're not.
Maybe he just went out to wish Jordan Baker a happy second inning.
Yeah. That looked like it hit on the top of the yellow line, just from the views we were able to get a look at. Frazier's home run, by the way, they estimated at 430 feet.
Well, now Davey Johnson in the dugout is getting a review by some of the players that saw the replay, probably up in the clubhouse. We'll take another look at it again. Right here it is, and does it hit above that yellow line? That's the question. I don't think it did.
Well, as we said, Davey Johnson did come out, talk to the home plate umpire Jordan Baker. We assume that he did not ask for a review.
Maybe he said, hey, Jordan, if you were me, would you ask for a review? Jordan said, nah. Let it ride, Skip.
Well, they would have gone in and taken a look at the monitor. I don't know. I think I might agree that maybe that ball did come up just a tad short. Moot point now. 2-0 Reds on back-to-back home runs. One by Frazier, one by Cozart. Swinging bunt here by Hannigan. Nice play by Zimmerman, and out at first base is the Reds catcher Ryan Hannigan.
Yeah, now that Scott Rowland has retired, or at least not playing baseball right now, I don't know if there's a third baseman in the league that makes this particular play any better than Ryan Zimmerman. He comes in, bare hands it while he's standing on his right foot, his left foot throws off his right foot. And that is just textbook slow roller from a third baseman.
One of the toughest plays right there a third baseman has to make. Rowland made it exceptionally well, and so does Ryan Zimmerman. So 2 out. A strikeout of Bruce, a ground out by Hannigan, and in between home runs by Frazier and Cozart. 2-0 Reds advantage. Bailey bats now with the bases clear. Drove in 5 runs a year ago. A career 164 hitter. By the way, Cozart last year 15 home runs. He gets his first of the year. He had gotten off to a slow start, 0 for 11. In fact, that is hit number 1 for the Red shortstop. All the runs that the Nationals have given up this year, 3 have come via the solo homer.
Well, they only gave up 1 run in the entire series against the Marlins, so automatically they're already now they think in the 2nd inning of this game that this is no sleepy offense.
Off the glove of Worth out in right field. There goes Bailey in the 2nd. He is in there standing up. So the bottom of the 2nd continues. That's going to be a double for Homer Bailey. Boy, Worth was a little bit shallow out there and right, as you would suspect.
Well, you're naturally going to play the opposing pitcher, especially a right-handed hitter, shallow if you're a right fielder. But Homer Bailey gets enough of this ball to get it down the line a little bit. Jason Worth, who's normally a very good right fielder, can't put a glove on it.
Now Chu will get a 2nd at bat in 2 innings of this game. Wide to left to get the Reds' 1st inning started. Chu, of course, would have faced Herron last year. In fact, the last 3 years when he was a member of the Angels. Chu was with the Cleveland Indians. Herron last worked against the Reds and in this ballpark way back in 2009 as a member of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now he has Chu in the hole at a ball and 2 strikes. Reds hit 3 yesterday, 1 on Wednesday, so 6 home runs now through the first 3 games plus 2 innings. Hitting. Chu hit by a pitch. He joins Bailey on the bases. Chu was hit by a pitch to start the game on opening day by Jared Weaver, and he's hit here for the 2nd time this year.
Good look at Chu not getting out of the way of that pitch on our Performance Exmo.
Heisey on the first pitch will pop it to Zimmerman, who handles it, and so the Reds leave a pair, but the home run swings first of Todd Frazier, his 2nd of the year, and a 430-foot blast, and then Zach Cozart adds to the lead with his first hit of the year. 2 home runs back-to-back for the Reds and a 2-0 lead. See your Toyota dealer or visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by JTM Food Group. Let's create great dishes together. Assortment of Reds hats. Look at those lids. A lot of nice ones down there in the gift shop. Todd Frazier, meanwhile, his 2nd home run of the year. Cozart followed with his first. Reds have taken a 2-0 lead through 2 here at Great American Ballpark. They played very well at home a year ago. The Reds won 50, lost 31 here at Great American Ballpark last year during the regular season. Of course, took 2 out of 3 from the Angels and looked to get off to a good start here against this Nationals team, a team that defeated the Reds 5 out of 7 times in 2012. Danny Espinosa leads it off. Their switch hitting second baseman. Hitless this year, nothing out of 11. Better hitter from the right side. Was last year, has been throughout his career. Now he gets his first hit of this year. A solid single into right. Now, Fox Sports Ohio would like to send out a special hello tonight to longtime Reds fan Everett Crouch, who's watching tonight's game at Good Samaritan Hospital. Everett, we hope we can get you a victory here tonight. First game of this series against the Washington Nationals. Batter now will be the catcher, Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki caught on the second game of the season for the Nationals. Back in there today. Wilson Ramos is their other catcher.
This Nationals ball club is a ball club that has the potential to steal a lot of bases. They've got 4 players in the lineup tonight that have had 17 or more stolen bases just last year. And one of them is on first base in Espinosa. He had 20 bags, only thrown out 6 times.
They were a big running team a year ago. They tied for second in the National League in stolen bases with 134. They really haven't had to run, though, yet, Chris, this year against that Miami club.
Well, Miami only scored 1 run against them. And with the pitching that the Nationals showed them, they were really in control of most of those games. It's a little different story here when you're playing against another playoff contending team like the Reds. Reds will put numbers up. They've got also very good bullpen, good pitching staff. So this is a little bit more of a higher caliber level of play that the Nationals saw the first 3 games.
Ball and 2 strikes to Kurt Suzuki. Came up through the athletics organization, spent 5.5 years there. Very good catcher with that club. Came over last year in August in a trade and really did much better as a member of the Nationals than he did a year ago as a member of the A's. Last year, .218 with Oakland. Came over, played 43 games with Washington down the stretch, took over their everyday duties behind the plate. Hit .267 with 5 home runs.
Well, they lost a starter last year, Wilson Ramos, to an injury, and he missed most of the year. The Nationals should be stronger behind the plate this year because of the addition of Suzuki, and Ramos is back off from injury.
Big out here with a pitcher's spot. Herron waiting next. And he gets it. On strikes goes Suzuki. That is the 3rd strikeout for Homer Bailey. And now he deals with a pitcher, Danny Herron, who has not hit in a regular season game on a regular basis for 4 years.
You know, sometimes when you're charting Homer Bailey, you're not sure whether he's throwing a slider or a splitter until you see it on our Xmo. And the spin on that particular ball will tell you that that was a split finger fastball, dropped right off the table down the dirt. And Suzuki could not hold back.
Here's Herron, who shows bunt and takes the ball. Herron, a career .223 hitter. He has 2 career home runs, the first of which came in this ballpark back in June of 2009 against Bronson Arroyo. His other was also on the road at St. Louis, but his very first, 09, right here at GABP. Bailey falls behind 2-0.
Well, the Reds are playing very aggressive on defense right here. Todd Frazier charging hard. Joey Votto charging hard. They're going to do their best to try to get the lead runner and make Danny Herron run the bases. You watch how hard the Todd Frazier starts coming in here. And I'll tell you what, if Votto gets the ball, he's not afraid to throw the ball to second base either.
Not at all. I think he almost prefers it. That one spins Herron around, and now it's 3-0.
You got to throw a strike.
Gets one in there at the knees. 3-1. Trent Jewett, third base coach of the Nationals. He was over at first base last year. Switches to third this year with the departure of Bo Porter. That will be a foul ball, and now a full count. Nationals won 98 games last year, the most in franchise history. That dates all the way back to their Montreal Expos days. Franchise that began in 1969, all those years up in Montreal. The most they ever won was 95. Remember, they never made the playoffs as the Expos. This year, the 9th year already since that franchise moved to D.C. There's a bunt foul, and from 3-0, Herron is a strikeout victim. Good comeback job there by Bailey. Four strikeouts now for Homer Bailey, and here he is, the one batter away, working around that leadoff single by Espinoza. Here's Denard Span.
And Homer Bailey's on his game, and you can see progressively as the seasons have gone on, going back to 2009 and then forward from there, that he gets more and more first pitch strikes, and that is a key to holding the opposition down. It also shows me he's got more confidence. A repeatable delivery, confidence, 95-mile-an-hour fastball, all the ingredients the Reds were hoping to find in a major league pitcher when they drafted him as a high schooler out of LaGrange, Texas.
Short lead at first over there by Espinoza. Span takes the ball. He's at 1-2. As you mentioned, this guy certainly adds to the speed that this national team had a year ago and expect to have again this year. From 0-2 to 2-2. Homer last year walked 52 in 208 innings. This spring he only walked 5 in 22 2/3. And now from 0-2 to 3-2. Espinoza there will be on the move on this 3-2 pitch. Votto will move back into a better defensive position. There goes the runner. And we'll do it again on a foul ball. A couple of afternoon games coming up here. The remainder of this series tomorrow at 1:10. Sunday at 1:10. Tomorrow Mike Leake against the lefty Ross Detweiler. And then Sunday, as we chronicled in the open of the broadcast, Johnny Cueto, 19-game winner a year ago against Steven Strasburg, who was lights out his first start of this year. What a classic pitching matchup we have set up for Sunday.
Kind of funny, because if you ask fans from either city, who do you like in that particular matchup, 95% of National fans will say Strasburg, 95% of Reds fans will say Cueto, and you will have a dandy of a ball game that afternoon.
We'll have a pretty good seat for it right here. Again, the runner moving. Boy, that's close, but ball 4. Bailey thought he had it. Span took it. Jordan Baker agreed, and that's the first walk of the night by Bailey.
Now, Bailey not happy with himself. He hope he shouldn't be too hard on himself. He's thrown a lot of strikes overall. The late movement by Hannigan shows you that he didn't believe it was a strike, and now he's going to have to face Jason Worth with the runner in scoring position.
Worth hit it hard to the left of the third baseman Frazier his first time. Todd made a nice play. Worth here represents the go-ahead run in a 2-0 game. Reds. We're in the top of the third.
Well, he blew away Jason Worth last time, really on fastballs. Worth had kind of a protective swing and grounded out meekly to the third baseman on a 1-2 count. We'll see if he breaks out the breaking pitches in this at bat.
Starts him off with a fastball. I think, Chris, you and Tom were talking about it maybe yesterday about Bailey making the start. One of you made the comment that if you haven't seen Bailey in a while, you may not recognize him. 2 years in a row, he gains a lot of weight, puts on muscle, becomes much stronger. He just misses there. 1-1. Injury free for the first time in his career last year.
You know, and I think that's something that just comes with maturity. Yes, he worked very hard in the offseason. I mean, there's a big difference between a guy who is 21 years old and then all of a sudden he shows up at 26. You're a man. Physically, he is now mature. So I always tell these minor leaguers that I see down there, even if they're struggling at age 21 or 22, I say, hang in there, because you're really not mature yet. You haven't really found out what you can do when you become a man. And Homer Bailey's a great example of that. He's a much, much better pitcher now. I mean, light years ahead of when they brought him up at age 21.
Well, if you had to see Worth swing in this at bat, and now he's at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Still got that big beard going. Comfortable, I imagine now, but boy, in June, July, August, I imagine that thing gets a little hot.
I think it might be a good look for you.
Or not. Votto bobbles it. Votto will flip it, and they got him at first base. Or that was close. Votto recovered just in the nick of time. Bailey got it, got out of the way just in the nick of time as Worth was barreling down the line. We'll take another look at it as we go to break. Still 2-0 Reds as we go to the bottom of the third. $50 million. That's 50, $50 million. Drawing is at 11 p.m. tonight, just about 3 hours from now. Well, we are very pleased, very fortunate to have a special guest with us in the booth here tonight. Bo Kirby, who's a professor of computer science at Northern Kentucky University, is with us. Bo, it's good to have you here.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
You're at the ballpark, I guess, for the first time this year, right?
Actually, I was here on opening day.
You were here on opening day. Now, you had the privilege of meeting Shin-Soo Choo down on the field.
Yes, that
before
was
the game.
wonderful.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, we had a meeting about 12-13 minutes, and I asked him about how he feels about Cincinnati, and he said he feels a lot better here than previous place.
In Cleveland, yeah. Well, certainly this team has better expectations than the Indians did a year ago as Votto drops that ball into center for a base hit. I know he was traded in the offseason. He comes to a new club, and whether you're from the United States or from South Korea, it's different to go to a new place, and we're glad to know that he's enjoying himself.
Oh yes, I was very happy. And he found some Korean grocery stores and Korean restaurants too.
He did. Well,
yes.
Good for him. Yeah. Now I imagine you could offer to cook him up some
actually,
Korean
I offered
specialties.
him, and I told him that I would cook some home food.
Did he? What's his favorite? Did he tell you?
No, we didn't talk about food that much yet.
We're visiting with Bo Kirby, a professor of computer science at NKU, and we want to ask about Choo's popularity in South Korea because from what we could tell in spring training with a lot of reporters and the like there, it's pretty popular.
Oh yes, because he has the best record. Our 50 million people, we just love him so much. And actually today we even have some students through the NKU. We have some exchange program, and we have about 55 Korean students, and a lot of them are here and supporting him.
That's excellent. That's excellent.
Bo, how would you measure the popularity of baseball in Korea?
It's very popular in Korea. Actually, there are many sports very popular in Korea, but especially the baseball now. We have almost 10 pro baseball teams, and always there are games.
You know, a little known fact about Choo is that when he competed in the World Junior Baseball Classic, he was named the best pitcher in the entire Classic. And then soon after that, he was signed by the Seattle Mariners and turned into an outfielder.
Right.
Maybe you could convince him to pitch.
Yes.
Phillips will foul this ball away, so he stays at no balls and 2 strikes.
Now, Bo, over here, I asked him the first day of spring training, what do you want to be called? Shin-Soo Choo or just Choo? He said, please, just call me Choo.
Choo.
Is that how you addressed him today?
Actually, I told him the Shin-Soo Choo, but yeah, I think he would like to be here Choo. And we sometimes call it go to here, right? Right?
Sure.
And that's kind of interesting and cute nickname in Korea.
Boy, the Reds get a huge break there. That ball hit hard into right field by Phillips. Dropped for a hit. Votto was reading it, thought it might be caught. He started going back to first, but a low throw from the right fielder Worth is going to enable Votto to get into second base.
It really wasn't as close as it appeared, maybe for Joey Votto. Of course, with Jason Worth out in right field, he is a tremendous defensive right fielder. And Votto may have thought that he was playing Brandon Phillips a little shorter than he was, or maybe he thought that ball was going to carry more than it did. But as it turned out, the throw short hopped the shortstop, and the Reds have got something going.
Bruce is up now with 2 on and nobody out. That's a hit, by the way, for Phillips. No error charge. So 2 on with nobody out.
All right, now, Bo, when people get going and Jay Bruce does something good, they'll say Bruce. And when Choo gets going, they're going to say Choo. It's going to be hard to differentiate between the two.
Right.
He's got to make sure he knows that they're not booing him.
No. I'm sure he knows that he's being loved here. Yeah.
Hey, Bo, I wanted to ask you, because I was reading some information about you here. You have performed a number of times with the Cincinnati Opera here in town, right?
Well, yes. Actually, I'm the guild member of Cincinnati Opera, and actually some years ago I was a super there. So, and I was in some of the operas, and I used to, if I have some time more in summer, I'd love to do that more.
Now, tell us the story about falling into the orchestra pit. Tell us that story.
That was about like 9 feet, and I do taekwondo. So I think we learned falling in taekwondo. I think that really helped. Without even thinking, I just landed on my back with the head up.
Now you're here with Dr. Mearns, Jeffrey Mearns,
yes.
from president of NKU.
New president.
New president, yeah. Very, very nice man.
He's a wonderful, our community welcomes him a lot.
Now you grew up wanting to be involved in literature. How did you get into computer science?
Well, I found out that being a writer is not going to support me.
Yeah.
So I just decided to do something to support me. And my brother studied computer engineering, so he suggested me study software engineering, and I did that. And so I came to Wayne State University in Detroit, and I met my husband there.
Excellent, excellent. Broken bat into left. Harper's going to make the catch, and that's the first out here in the Reds' third inning.
Bo, down on the field when you were speaking with Chu, you related to me a story. Maybe you talked with Chu about this, about the chopsticks and the beans, and how Shin Soo Choo practiced and showed everybody his hand-eye coordination. Tell us that story.
Because he was coming here, I was more into him than ever. So I went to some of the websites and internet, and I found some of the talk show he was in, and they were asking him to hit some ping pong balls first. So he hit a ping pong ball with a very small stick, and then it went smaller and smaller, and finally they threw a small bean, and he had one chopstick, and he hit it, and he never missed it. He tried several times, he never missed them.
That is major hand-eye coordination.
Exactly.
Right there. Wow.
I think because he's such a hard-working person, he practiced a lot, so he got to get that one.
Well, great stuff, Bo. Thank you very much for joining us up here in the Reds booth. And we'll see you out here at Great American Ballpark for many games here this summer.
Oh, too you so much.
And you know what? One more thing. I know that you're probably acting as Bob Castellini's agent. And see, since you've befriended Shin Soo Choo so well, maybe you can convince him to stay here for another 5 or 10 years.
I will try my best.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now it's nice to visit with Bo Kirby, professor of science, computer science at NKU, and a big, as she admitted, Chris, a big Shin Soo Choo fan.
Oh, I imagine she and her friends are going to be out here all the time this summer, rooting on the Reds, and it was great to have her up here.
I want to see you hitting beans with a chopstick. See if you have that hand-eye coordination.
It sounds like an upcoming CBTS Tech Talk.
How about that? Yeah.
And after the episode is over, we can sit down for a feast of beans on the ones that he swings and misses on. We'll just collect them in a bowl, eat them up. And
Bo says she's a pretty good cook and can whip up some very good South Korean dishes. So maybe she'll offer something up.
I wanted to ask her if she ever had any kimbabs.
Which
is a delicacy that they serve over in a lot of the baseball parks in Korea.
Oh, yeah.
It's a ring of seaweed, and inside the ring of seaweed is lobster and crab and Korean sausage.
I bet she's had
Maybe I'll mention to Phil Castellini that, you know, if we're going to have a large contingent of Korean fans out here, maybe that's one of the offerings that the concessionaires ought to be able to go up and down the aisles with.
You'd try that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know you would. To write that one down. See if they've got it at the Kroger. Reds trying to add to a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the third. Hit by Votto, hit by Phillips.
Been a long inning for Danny Herron. 56 pitches, number 57 coming up right now. He's battling hard just to get through this inning.
Frazier chased a 2-2 breaking ball, didn't get it, so he strikes out. So after 2 singles, a fly out and a strikeout, third strikeout for Herron. And now Zach Cozart has the onus of this inning on his shoulders. You were talking with Bo about Korean baseball. Manny Ramirez is over there playing right now. He had a big home run, what, a day or so ago? To left field, that ball will get over the wall. 3-run homer by Zach Cozart, his second of the night. Boy, he's at a coming out party for the Red shortstop this evening. And he adds to the 2-0 lead. It is now 5-0 Reds.
Now look like Cozart got a fastball his first time up. I think that was more of a cutter that didn't cut. You see where Kurt Suzuki was set up low and outside. That ball just stayed middle in for Cozart. And a 2-home run game for the Red shortstop.
And we mentioned 15 of them a year ago. 2 of them here tonight for Zach Cozart. Now a pop-up. And it'll be handled over there in foul ground by Adam LaRoche. So Hannigan retired, and the inning comes to an end. So we would say it's 5-0 Reds. Bo Kirby from South Korea. How would you take us to break in South Korea? Go right ahead.
Okay. 레드 팀이 지금 이제 레드 홈그라운드에서 내셔널로 지금 향해 가고 있습니다. 팍스 스포츠 오하이오입니다.
There we have it. There we have it.
Bravo, bravo.
Nationals tomorrow. The game time is at 1:10. Plus, the first 20,000 fans receive a Reds fleece blanket thanks to Duke Energy Retail. Then you can stick around for the Reds Collegiate Invitational that features the University of Cincinnati and the University of Louisville baseball teams right here at Great American Ballpark. For tickets, you can call 513-381-REDS. Visit select Kroger locations or reds.com/tickets. 5-0 Cincinnati. We play into the 4th inning. You guys had Brian Cleary on yesterday talking about that collegiate invitation.
Yeah, he was very excited about that, about the Reds' participation in college baseball locally. It's really tremendous.
Chance for Phillips, moving to his left as he will make the play and throw out Bryce Harper.
This is one of those momentum innings for the Reds and Homer Bailey. You know, you score 3 in the bottom of the inning. You had the pitcher on the ropes. Finally, it was Cozart to be able to deliver a 3-run bomb. And now you're right in the middle of the order. And if you can retire Harper and Zimmerman and LaRoche, you know, you take a lot of the momentum away from this Washington Nationals ball club.
Danny Herron allowed 28 home runs a year ago. He's allowed 3 in this game. 2 home runs, 4 RBIs for Zach Cozart. You saw earlier on the screen the first multi-home run game of the career of the young shortstop. It's also a new career high in RBIs for Cozart with 4. Zimmerman called out on strikes his first time. You bilingual, by the way, on any language?
No.
No, am I?
I can order a beer in 2 or 3 languages.
Same with me.
And ask where the bathroom is. That's about it.
Zimmerman waiting on a 2-2 now from Homer Bailey. Boy, that had some late backdoor movement.
Yeah, he's got a lot of movement and good feel for his fastball tonight, but it doesn't look like right now that Homer Bailey's got one of those nights going where he's got everything working. His breaking ball he hasn't really been able to control, but he has been able to spot that fastball.
And now he loses him on that 3-2 pitch, so a runner on Zimmerman with 1 out. Second walk by Homer against 4 strikeouts. That'll bring to the plate Adam LaRoche. Homer mouthing there up. Was that pitch up? I don't think he was talking about the 3-2. He's talking about the 2-2. Here's LaRoche.
Now that's a spot to be with Adam LaRoche. He's a guy, when he hits his home runs, most of those home runs are going to be hit the right field. And he's looking for something to drop the bat head on and just kind of clear his hips and drive the ball out to right. But if you put it right on the outside corner, you don't give him that opportunity.
Adam, the older of the 2 brothers that play in the big leagues. Andy LaRoche also. Though he has not played in the big leagues since 2011. Their dad, Dave, left-handed pitcher some years ago. Ball and a strike now to Adam LaRoche.
I mean, 33 home runs last year for LaRoche. He hit 11 of those off of left-handers and 22 off right-handers. So he is a threat.
Now Homer falls behind 2-1.
Yeah, Homer, you can see a little frustration right there after that split finger went down the dirt. He just doesn't have a feel yet for his off-speed pitches. It's been really a one pitch for him tonight, the fastball, moving it around, but he knows full well that you're not going to be able to work your way through this lineup more than once, maybe twice, with a fastball only.
Hardy on that swing, now 2-2. Homer didn't like the feel of that baseball at all. Kind of threw that one away in disgust. Working here in the top of the fourth. Solo home runs by Frazier and Cozart in the second. 3-run homer. There's strike 3 called. Bailey gets LaRoche. Strikeout number 5.
Yeah, it had been fastball, 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 and that, again, he's going to go with the number 1, just on the outside corner, right at the top end of the strike zone.
So 2 out now for Ian Desmond. Zach Cozart's 3-run homer in the bottom of the third expanded this lead to 5-0 Cincinnati.
You know what Homer Bailey has slanted that fastball? He has late finish. I mean, when he finishes with his delivery, he gets right out there over his left knee and really finishes it out. He keeps his head on the target. His hand is way out there extended towards home plate, and a little flip of the wrist at the very end gives it that movement and that extra life.
Well, he's gotten Desmond twice to swing and miss.
Yeah, Desmond's a good fastball hitter. That was a breaking ball that Homer hung right there, and Desmond just swung right through a hanger.
And he got it. 3 pitches means the end of Ian Desmond. 6 strikeouts now for Homer Bailey. He got LaRoche looking. He gets Desmond looking. Miller time moment. Have we already seen it? We've seen some fireworks so far in this game from Frazier, from Cozart. Maybe later on our Miller time moment. And also, Reds fans, if a Reds homer hits the Toyota sign during tonight's game, Jesse Simmons of Cincinnati, who currently owns a 2008 Land Cruiser, will win this beautiful new Tundra on display here at Great American Ballpark. Register for your chance to win in an upcoming game by simply visiting your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. This is the first of the Friday night fireworks shows here at Great American Ballpark this year. In the past, it's been selected Friday nights. This year, every Friday night. Homer Bailey doubled off the glove of Worth and Wright his first time. He drove in 5 runs a year ago. He's batting first to start the 4th inning here. Daly strikes out. First out here in the bottom of the 4th. Take a look now at our trivia question of the game, brought to you by AT&T. Prior to Chu, who was the last player to score 4 runs in their first 3 games with the Reds. The last player to score 4+ runs in their first 3 games with the Reds. Chu, of course, scored 2 yesterday, 1 on Wednesday. Turned out the only run the Reds scored on opening day. He gets ahead here, 2 balls and no strikes. I mentioned earlier, he came into this game having reached base in 7 times in his first 15 plate appearances. He'd been on once tonight when he was hit by a pitch in the 2nd.
I'm at the end. I'm just sitting on the edge of my seat. Can't wait for the answer to that trivia question. That's the kind of question that keeps me up at night.
You come up with that thing? Hit well by Chu.
Another one.
The 3rd of the night. Make that the 4th of the night for the Reds. Chu, he pulled that ball just over the wall and below the Toyota sign. Out in right center field. His 2nd of the year. And it is 6-0 Reds.
Well, he's got some kind of power. We've seen that. We saw it in spring training when he hit home runs to left field and right field. This one, he goes right out the front door at Great American Ballpark. And the Reds are dialing 8. Now, Davey Johnson's come back out, and he's talked to the home plate umpire, Jordan Baker. Now he's going to run out and talk to one of the other guys, say, hey, can we get some help here? Can somebody finally review one of these? I think, unfortunately for Davey Johnson, he's about 3 home runs too late.
Now, correct me, Chris, if I'm wrong, but if they simply ask for the review, they get it from the umpires. All they have to do is ask.
I thought that's the case.
Which leads you to believe that maybe Davey Johnson did not ask on the Zach Cozart home run back in the 2nd inning. But he apparently has asked here. So they'll take a look at that home run ball by Shin-Soo Choo. That appeared to hit the fan rather than the wall. Different angle. What do you think?
I think this one's going to come back.
Well, it's under review. The umpires are taking a look at it. You think it's going to come back? I thought it got over.
Well, if it hits the yellow line
on the top,
it is not a home run. If it has to hit over the yellow line, right?
I thought if it hit on the top and went into the stands, well, then
that would be a home run.
That's what I thought happened on the Cozart home run ball in the 2nd. It hit the top of the line and into the stands, and it did appear what this one did. Well, is it Chu's 2nd home run of the year, or is it a double? Umpires are underneath taking a look at it. We had a review in yesterday's game. Remember, Reds were hoping that Frazier got a home run ball on his 4th inning shot. Turned out to be a double. That one hit the yellow line in the field and bounced back. This ball appeared to hit the top and bounce into the stands, or skim off the top of the stands. Let's take a look at both of the balls that have been in question tonight. First, Cozart back in the second inning. That was to left field. That one looked like it hit the top of the yellow wall, or the yellow pad, and went into the stands. And here's Chu's, which appears to do the same thing, which is to hit the top of the yellow line and then go to the fan in the brown T-shirt. Well, if it stands, it'll be 6-0 Cincinnati. If not, I'll have Chu at second base with one out. Yesterday's review of the Frazier home run was quick and simple. This one taking a little bit more time. Remember, this is the only thing right now in Major League Baseball that can be reviewed. There's been a lot of talk about fair and foul down the line, a lot of talk about catch versus blocking the ball out in the outfield. But the only thing in Major League Baseball right now that is reviewable is the home run ball.
You know, I've always been one of these old-fashioned guys that say review as little as possible. But as technology has gotten better and better, I'm beginning to open up a little bit, saying, all right, I think now the real concern is to try to get the call made right. But what they could do is streamline the process, because all of these games are on tape. They're all being watched back in New York City by MLB. They're all on big screen TVs. And I think rather than sending umpires into a cave down underneath the stadium to look on a flat screen TV, can't they get a call from somebody in New York who's watching this, or at central control, wherever that may be, on a big screen, who can slow it down, and they can show that whether it's a home run or not. And in this case, Tim McClellan signals home run.
Crew chief Tim McClellan, the first base umpire, came out of the dugout, signaled home run. Fans loved it. Now the explanation to Davey Johnson. 3.5 minutes it takes the umpires to review. That ball hit by Chu, hit his first Reds home run yesterday, and he gets his second tonight. The fourth home run of this game now by the Reds. It also marks the 5th time in the career of Danny Herron that he's allowed 4 home runs in a game. So now it's Heisey. Heisey's 0 for 2. Strike 3 to the Reds left fielder. That's the second strikeout of the inning. The 5th in this game by Danny Herron. Pretty good location there by the veteran right-hander. 2 out for Joey Votto. Both these pitchers, by the way, you notice working without sleeves. On a cool night, temperature at game time is 60. You can see them blowing on their hands. Joey has a pair of hits tonight. He came in 1 for 10. All 3 of his hits this year have been singles. And he'll get another one here as he yanks that ball into right. Votto's 3 for 3.
Well, when Joey Votto went to bat for the first time tonight, his batting average was an even 100. He was 1 for 10. And I almost said at the time, folks, get a good look at that number 100. because you're not going to see it again.
Right.
And now that he's 3 for 3, he's raised his average, and that 100 is long in the rearview mirror.
4 for 13. That would compute to what if you just did it off the top of your head?
I would not do it off the top of my head. I promised your other partner, Tom Brenneman, that I would not do it. I would say it would be just slightly over 305.
Slightly over 305. Be pretty darn close. Just calculating very quickly.
So you raise your batting average a couple hundred points in a matter of 3 at-bats. You can do that early in the year.
Movement now and action down in the Nationals bullpen. The only lefty they have out of the pen is the former Cub, former Pirate, Zach Duke, who's throwing. Zimmerman. Short way to second. They get the force out on Votto, putting an end to the bottom of the 4th inning. But the fireworks during the game continue for the Reds. Chu hits his 2nd of the year. 4th of the night for Cincinnati. And it is 6-0 Reds. 3-4.
The Washington Nationals here on Fox Sports Ohio. Jim Day with you, and we talked on opening day about Reds coach Mark Berry, who has cancer in his neck. Now, they believe they caught it early, and as the guys told you on opening day, he was set to start his chemo treatments on Tuesday. Well, anyone that's been around cancer, it's been in my family, and has been around anyone that has had chemotherapy, it is a tough situation. So tough that on Wednesday, he came to the ballpark and was so sick, they sent him home. Now, he will do chemo every Tuesday for 7 weeks, and then radiation 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, for 7 weeks. So certainly a tough situation, but if anyone's tough enough to get through it, it is Mark Berry. We certainly send out our prayers and best wishes to he and his family. And one note, guys, Miguel Cairo will take his place on the road as one of the Reds coaches. He will be in the dugout in St. Louis.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. I know, Chris, you and Tom have talked about it. We talked about it late in spring training. It's just a debilitating set of circumstances that Mark Berry is going through. The cancer in his tonsil, in his lymph nodes. I talked to him in spring training, and I know you did too. He said, hey, I'm going to do what I have to do, put this behind me, and move on.
Well, he's got all the support, of course, of everybody in that clubhouse and everybody in the Reds organization. And, you know, he's the longest tenured Reds coach. Going back to the days when he was in the minor leagues with the Reds, been in the organization for a long, long time, and just a true professional. And I'll tell you, we hope that it all turns out well. We're all confident that it will turn out well. And he knows he's in for a tough road.
Sure.
But he'll be better, and we just can't wait to get him back full time.
We've seen Chris Spire coaching at third base. He'll continue to do that. Dusty Baker talked about the addition of Miguel Cairo, who's learning the ropes of being a coach after being a player for a long time up until this year. He's now on the coaching staff of this Reds club. Good start. Meanwhile, here in the 5th inning, there's Miguel. Played 3 years with the Reds. Espinosa fouls out to the catcher Hannigan to get the top of the 5th started. Kurt Suzuki up there now. And the pinch hitter Roger Bernardina on deck. So Danny Herron is going to be finished after 4 innings in his Nationals debut, having given up 4 home run balls and 6 runs total in this game. Zach Duke had been up and throwing, a left-hander, earlier in the Nats pen. Suzuki a strikeout victim his first time. Suzuki, a native of Hawaii, played collegiately at Cal State Fullerton. Talked earlier about the success he had initially coming over to this Nationals team last year. Nice backhand pick by Votto, and a good feed to Homer Bailey. Duo handles that. 3-1, 2 men out. Now Bernardina will be announced as the pinch hitter, so Herron finished after 4. Here's Roger Bernardina. He's played in a game but hasn't hit yet this year. Straight left-handed hitter Bernardina. And he's ahead 2 balls and no strikes. Bernardina last year hit .291 with the Nationals with 5 home runs.
Well, he swung through 2 fastballs that are pretty much right down the middle. But that just goes to show you the kind of life that Bailey has on his fastball. I mean, it's explosive type life. It's the kind of fastball that you stand at the home plate and it looks like you're on it halfway, and then all of a sudden it hits a second gear. Even at 93, it's got great finish.
Nobody on with 2 out here in the 5th. And ball 4.
Now the 3rd walk of the day for Homer Bailey, but he's had some pretty good plays behind him, including a very good defensive play that he made himself. Joey Votto a couple of innings ago had a ground ball hit to him and he botched it. Runners at first and second. This was a big play. And Jason Worth running down the line. Votto stays with it, but watch Bailey hanging at the bag. I mean, they do this little PFP where the pitcher covers first base in spring training. They do it thousands at a time, ad nauseum. I mean, every morning you're going out to do more PFP, and you wonder why. Hey, I've got it down, right? First baseman pitches to the pitcher, but oftentimes it doesn't work exactly the way you think it does. And Bailey did a nice play right there.
Span floats that ball into center field. Bernardina will advance. So after the first 2 retired in this inning, the next 2 have reached.
Yeah, that would really sizzle. There should sizzle Homer Bailey. I mean, you've got 7, 8, and 9 coming up in the order. You retire Espinosa, then Suzuki, no problem at all, and then you end up walking the pinch hitter with a 6-0 lead. Now the next guy gets a base hit, and before you know it, now you got Jason Worth, who's got home run power, Bryce Harper, who's also got home run power, hotter than a pistol. So now all of a sudden you've created a situation where you've got to bear down a pitch just to get out of the inning.
Worth his first home run of the year yesterday is a 3-run shot. He bats here with 2 on, 2 out in the 5th. He could cut the Reds' lead in half. Worth signed that big contract before the 2011 season. This is his 3rd of a 7-year deal he signed with the Nationals, the former Philly. Grounded out twice. Chris was talking about that very nice play that Bailey made in hanging in there. Votto made in recovering that ground out that ended the 3rd inning. Ball on a strike. Nationals, by the way, coming in here at 3-0, are the only undefeated team in Major League Baseball after the first 4 days of the season. He hit it high. He hits it deep toward left center. Chu is on the track, and Chu will haul it in. Worth gave it a good ride, but just missed it. And Bailey hangs another 0 here in inning number 5. Nationals this coming Sunday, the wrap up of the series and the homestand. The first 20,000 fans receive a 2013 Reds magnetic schedule and car magnet thanks to PNC Bank. For tickets you can call 513-381-REDS, visit select Kroger locations, or go to reds.com/tickets. That's the first 20,000 fans on Sunday get a 2013 Reds magnetic schedule and car magnet thanks to PNC Bank. Meanwhile, a new pitcher into the game for the Nationals. This is the left-hander, their only lefty out of the bullpen, Zach Duke.
I'm not surprised to see him, but Zach Duke, you see last year, 13 innings and 8 games overall. Spent some time in the minor leagues. Former Pittsburgh Pirate.
He gets Bruce to lead it off. In this game, is struck out, flied out. Lefty Duke spent most of last year as a starter at AAA Syracuse. Had a very good year down there in the International League, where he won 15 games. As Chris alluded to, only 8 appearances in the big leagues with the Nationals. And he gets Bruce to chase an off-speed breaking ball, and for the second time tonight, Bruce strikes out. Well, he did take extra BP today, and Dusty was talking about that. Someone asked him, what does the extra BP do? He said, at the least, it gives him confidence.
Well, he looks great in batting practice. But it's more of a mental thing. I mean, hitting at this level, yes, it takes eye-hand coordination, good eyesight, pitch recognition, good mechanics, and all the other things that go along. But more than anything, it also, you need confidence. And right now, there's not a whole lot of it going on with Jay Bruce.
Frazier hammers that ball into left field. Boy, you talked about the quickness of his bat earlier, Chris. It really does appear as he is seeing things much better here early on.
You know, he's so unorthodox, and a lot of scouts along the way, even when he played amateur baseball, said, you know what, you're never going to be able to hit like that. He pulls the bat back, he straightens out his left arm, he bows it a little bit. I mean, that is not what you teach out of the book, but Todd Frazier has a knack for getting the barrel of the bat on the baseball, and he's a big guy. I mean, look how much bigger he is than the first baseman LaRoche. And LaRoche had 33 home runs last year. So, you know, Frazier's a guy that, you know, is just going to get better and better.
With the ball really jumping off his bat, it's got that unique sound here early in the season. Cozart, a pair of home runs so far in this one. Solo in the second, 3-run in the third. Career best 4 RBIs now in this game. He came into this contest without a hit. He was 0 for 11. Now he's 2 for 13 with 2 homers and 4 driven in. Runner going. Pitch a strike. Throw skips away and on into center. That's a stolen base for Frazier. That'll be an error on the catcher and a runner at third with 1 out.
This is kind of a sneak attack by Todd Frazier because he's a guy that has a very short lead. Look how close he is to first base right there. I mean, he hardly has a lead at all. So Zach Duke is thinking, well, I'm not even going to pay attention to him, but he gets a running start as soon as Duke lifts his leg, and he is able to jog into third with the error as the ball goes into center.
First steal of the year for Frazier. Error on Suzuki, the catcher on the throw, forces Davey Johnson to move his Nationals infield in. With Frazier 90 feet away and only 1 out. And that'll get the job done into right center. Worth will make the catch as Frazier will tag and score. And it's a 5 RBI game for Zach Duke. Pardon me, for Zach Cozart. And it is 7-0 Reds here in the 5th.
That's a manufactured run for the Reds. And you just love that because, you know, I don't know if Todd Frazier stole that base on his own, but you lull the opposition to sleep. I mean, he gave no indication that he was even a base stealing threat. Next thing you know, with an error, the ball goes into center. He goes to third and presents Cozart with a nice, easy RBI opportunity. And just like that, they get a sac fly, 7-zip.
Here's Hannigan with the bases empty now and 2 men out. He's grounded out. He's fouled out. Ryan is 1 out of 12 this year. He's made all 4 starts. We mentioned with the Reds using the same lineup now 3 consecutive games. They never did that in the regular season last year.
I didn't realize that.
Here they've done it now in only the 4th game. They did it in the 3 games of the playoffs, but never in the regular season last year. We will see Devin Mesoraco tomorrow afternoon in game 5 of the year. Second game of this series with a start going to Mike Leake. There's Devin. What a terrific spring he had. Beat out the veteran Miguel Olivo for the #2 catcher's job on this team. He'll make his 2013 debut tomorrow. Homer Bailey waits on deck. Not near the on deck circle, but rather over near the top of the dugout. Espinosa will throw out Hannigan, putting an end to the bottom of the 5th. But another scoring inning for the Reds. They get one on a sac fly by Cozart. 7-0 Cincinnati. Sports Ohio breaks it down with interviews from the players and with the skipper, Dusty Baker. That's Reds Live postgame, brought to you by Kings Honda in the Kings Auto Mall. Visit KingsHondaUSA.com. Homer Bailey in this game through 5. He's allowed just the 2 hits. That was a single to Danny Espinosa in the 3rd. And a single to Denard Span in the 5th. He's walked 3. He's fanned 6. He has the support of the Reds long balls tonight. 7-0. Last year, Bailey was given 4.5 runs of support per game. He got more than that tonight. A 7-0 cushion as he works in the 6th inning. Trying to make it 4 for 4 for the Reds in quality starts. First Cueto, then Latos, then Arroyo. Now hopefully tonight Homer Bailey. Bryce Harper leads it off.
Well, he's been very aggressive, Bryce Harper has, but if you look at his short career, this is what he has done against starting pitchers in his 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th AB. You can see it's a gradual climb. So the more he sees of a pitcher, the more the advantage lies with Harper. 0 for 2 tonight against Bailey. Swung at the first pitch the first time up, fly to the left fielder. After just 2 or 3 pitches the second time up, get a ground ball to Brandon Phillips. It's been a treat for Reds fans who've been able to watch these games either on television or here at the ballpark, to watch the American League Rookie of the Year last year, Mike Trout come in and play 3 games for the Angels, and now you see Bryce Harper. So if you're trying to make a determination, as we have done in the booth, Jim, over the last few days, who would you pick if you were starting a team, Trout or Harper? Well, you're getting a chance to scout them both out. Back-to-back series.
Shallow in the left, and Cozart will handle that ball. Nice job there, Bailey, to put that ball right in on the hands, Chris, of of Harper.
Well, that's the one thing that Homer Bailey's been able to do all night. We'll take a look at this at-bat pitch by pitch presented by Mazda. Just throw his fastball. He's really not had good control of all of his breaking balls, so that is an off-speed pitch there. But for the most part, it's number one after number one after number one. Finally gets it in on the hands of Bryce Harper, pops him up, and the first out of the sixth.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman now, the third baseman. He has struck out, walked in this game. He had that 3-hit game yesterday, putting him at 5 for 10 in that series against the Marlins. That run, by the way, scored in the 5th inning, the first that the Reds have produced in this game that did not come via the home run ball.
I think this is a checkup from the neck up for Ryan Hanigan, going out there just telling Homer Bailey, hey, you've got great stuff. Your fastball is explosive. Why are you losing your concentration and getting behind the hitters? And look what happened last time. You get 2 outs and you walk the guy. Next guy gets a base hit. Now you had a pitch out of a jam. Let's save that and concentrate right now.
To right field. Bruce has the beat on it. 2 out. Homer had a 1-2-3 first, a 1-2-3 second. Set down the first 6 he faced. 8 of the first 9. And he looks for another 1-2-3 inning here. LaRoche is fouled out, struck out, nothing out of 2. 7-0 Reds, 6th inning from Great American Ballpark on this first Friday night of the 2013 season. 1:10 tomorrow, 1:10 on Sunday. Weather going to continue to warm up the next 2 days, and then the Reds hit the road for the first time after the game on Sunday, headed to St. Louis and Pittsburgh. Boy, like the Reds, the Cardinals, they played a long game the other night against Arizona. 16 innings. Reds here played 13 on opening day. Nationals club, after this 3-game set here, goes right back home. 6-game homestand that features the White Sox and the Atlanta Braves. LaRoche to Phillips, and another 1-2-3 inning for the 26-year-old Texan. That's 3 of them in the game, and he's got himself 6 innings of shutout baseball here at GABP. this season here at the ballpark. It's the Kroger Meal Deal. Check concession stands throughout the ballpark for the Kroger Meal Deal, which includes a full-size adult hot dog, a bag of chips, 16-ounce Coke, and during this homestand, David sunflower seeds. Make sure you get your Kroger Meal Deal today. Homer Bailey getting congratulations in the dugout from, among others, the manager, Dusty Baker. It appears after 98 pitches that he's finished for the night.
Why not? I mean, he pitched a real good ball game. He's got guys down in the bullpen that are rested, ready to go. Homer doesn't want to come out. You can see that right now. He wants to come out there and finish the ball game. I mean, that kid is driven. But he'll get another chance 5 days from now.
Zach Duke back to the mound here. Reds have a pinch hitter up. This is Derek Robinson, a young man making right here, Chris, his major league debut. Longtime Royals farmhand. This is his career numbers in the minor leagues. 256, signed as a free agent by the Reds in the offseason as a minor league free agent. He'll roll this ball to short, and it is bobbled by Desmond. And the speedy Derek Robinson reaches base in his first major league at bat. Yeah, we've talked a lot about Tyler Barnhart a couple of years ago getting the minor league gold glove as a catcher. Here's Derek Robinson last year, received a minor league gold glove as an outfielder. And that is including all of minor leagues, A, AA, and AAA. It's not each level. So quite an accomplishment.
It really is. And he's a great young man. Talked to him before the ball game about that phone call he made back home to talk to his mom and dad. Tell him that he was being called up to the major leagues, and he's got a great attitude. He said to me, you know, now the real work begins. Getting here is one thing. Staying here is even harder. And now I'm going to battle as hard as I can to stay here in the major leagues.
Robinson has the lead over there at first, held by LaRoche. 4 different times he has led his league in stolen bases. Reds have 1 steal tonight, and certainly as we bring in Jim Day into this conversation from down below, Jim, Dusty has said he really likes the addition of Robinson because of the speed that he adds to this club.
Loves the speed, and don't be surprised if he doesn't go here, because Zach Duke is about 1.6 seconds to the plate, and as you guys know, that is very slow. And you were wondering earlier if Frazier had the go sign himself. No, that came from the bench because they know Zach Duke is very slow to the plate. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes right here in this.
Well, he's slow, yes, but if you look at the numbers career-wise for Zach Duke, he also picks off a lot of runners, and those are probably runners that start to go to second and then he throws over to first base. But it's come down to a science. Jim Day's exactly right. You know, you time these guys' moves and you add it all up and you say, can the catcher possibly get the ball there to second base in time to get the runner? And if you're 1.7 or so to the plate, chances are it doesn't happen. Duke in his career has given up 45 stolen bases. Catchers have thrown out 41. So that's a pretty good ratio right there. He has also picked off 22.
Double play ball to short. They'll get one there. They got them both. Tim McClellan rings up the runner at first base. That's a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play here in the bottom of the 6th. We head to the 7th. All Reds, 7-0. summary. And a power-packed night for the Reds. Fireworks after the game, fireworks during the game. First Frazier. That came in the second, his second of the year. Cozart followed. His first hit of the year. Made it 2-0 Reds. Cozart later, an inning later, a 3-run shot. All this against Danny Herron. That made it 5-0 Reds. And then Chu in the 4th inning. Did it get over the wall? They looked at it on tape. They gave it a review. They called it a Chu home run. His second of the year. So 4 home runs in this game and a 7-0 Reds lead as we progress into inning number 7. Chris, a new pitcher on for the Reds. Homer's out. Manny Parra makes his Reds debut.
Yeah, the first look that we'll get at Manny Parra, left-hander, came over from the Milwaukee Brewers. As a free agent, the Reds thought they needed an extra left-hander in the bullpen. That was back really when the plan was for Aroldis Chapman to be in the starting rotation. Now that Chapman is back in the bullpen, they kept Parra, signed him to an offseason deal. And last year with the Brewers in 2012, that was the first year that he didn't split time between the bullpen and as a starter. Career-wise, he has 74 major league starts and a 26-33 record.
There's some eyebrows raised for sure when he made this club based on the numbers that he had put up this spring, an ERA of over 5. He's going to get his first out here. Bruce comes on. Bruce makes the catch. Desmond is the first out. The batter will be Danny Espinosa.
Yeah, you know, I guess you're right. There were some eyebrows raised. I'm not sure who raised those eyebrows, but I can tell you that the sample of work that Manny Parra has had in the major leagues. I mean, he's been a big leaguer since 2007. He's got 74 major league starts. I don't think that you sign a guy to a contract like that and then say, by the way, it's going to be a tryout during the month of March. I can quote what Davey Johnson said in the paper today about the month of March. He goes, I don't care what goes on in the month of March. It doesn't mean a thing. So whether Parra had a bad month or not, we'll see how he does here in the major league regular season.
Chu trying to track this one down, won't get it. It bounces into the stands, and that's a ground rule double for Danny Espinosa. Here in inning number 7, only the 3rd hit by the Nationals in this game and their first extra base hit.
Espinosa has 2 of the 3. Nice short swing on a fastball right down Broadway.
Kurt Suzuki is up. While we have a moment, we want to pass along condolences. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the director of medicine for this team, Dr. Timothy Kremchek, whose mother, we understand, passed away earlier this evening. Dr. Kremchek been involved with this team, Chris, a long time.
He certainly has. He knows everybody on this ball club, really down to a personal level. He has seen family members, kids, wonderful man, wonderful family, and we send our sympathies and condolences to the entire Kremchek family, and hope you guys are doing okay.
Tyler Moore is on deck. He will bat for Zach Duke. The Nationals will have a new pitcher come the bottom of the 7th. Phillips caught the ball, and they're going to get a double play. Doubled up at second base is Danny Espinosa. Hit hard. Phillips makes a typical Brandon Phillips play. End result, inning-ending double play here in the top of the 7th inning. Stretch time at Great American Ballpark. Take a look at it again. play of the game. We just saw it. Watch Phillips take a hit away here from Kurt Suzuki. Turn it into a 4-6 double play.
Well, one of those nights where just about everything is going the Reds' way. Get a line drive like that, a scorcher that was destined to go into the gap. Brandon Phillips makes a nice backhanded play, turns it into a DP.
DP from BP. We said Zach Duke would leave the game, but after the double play, his spot did not come up. So he will go back out there for a third inning. He allowed an unearned run in the fifth. 3 batters and out thanks to a double play ball hit into by Heise in the sixth. And he works now here in the bottom of the seventh. Votto looking to have a perfect night. He's 3 for 3. New first baseman Tyler Moore has taken over for Adam LaRoche. Votto here trying to tie his career high with 4 hits in the game. He's done it a remarkable 13 times. But he will not do it, at least in this at bat, as he strikes out on that big breaking ball. Here's Brandon Phillips, and he gets a big hand after that play he made in the top of the seventh defensively. Seven nothing Reds in the home seventh. Brandon tonight has struck out, singled, hit into a forced place, 1 for 3. So he has a hit in 3 of the 4 games. Right down the heart of the plate at 3-0. Bruce waits next. Straight up change, by the way, with Moore at first base. Now it's 3-2 to Phillips. We mentioned Bruce standing on deck near the on deck circle. I don't know if you and Tom, Chris, talked about him. How about the new on deck circle this year for the Reds down there? In fact, they're new on both sides, but the Reds one is a completely different look this year.
I missed it. Tell me about it.
Well, they used to have the bone C there with the word Reds in the middle, the traditional Reds logo. This year it's the red backdrop with the script Reds written in there. And Phillips gets his second hit of the night. The Reds have not gone down in order yet in this game. Reminder that the Reds Fan Express back for 2013, and you need to get on board. To bring your group to Great American Ballpark on the Fan Express to Reds country, simply call Reds Group Sales, the number 513-765-7600, or log on to reds.com/Fan Express. Bruce gets it in the air toward left center field. Hit pretty well off the wall. Chased down there by Bryce Harper. Here comes the runner Phillips to the plate. He will score. Jay Bruce gets his first RBI of the season. He gets the double, and it is now 8-0 Reds.
Jay needed that one, and I think what's especially satisfying for him is that it came off a left-hander. That was a little slider going away. Got it a little bit above the knees, and Bruce stayed right on that one. And I'll tell you one thing about Jay Bruce. He hits it, it stays hit. He's a tremendously strong young man. Bounces high off the wall.
Only has 2 hits this year, both of them doubles.
And both in the same spot.
Yeah, sure are.
Now another look at the slow motion double swing of Jay Bruce right in the sweet part of the bat, or mentioned furniture. Exmo replay.
Man who came 1 RBI short of triple figures last year. Jay ended the year at 99 runs batted in. Gets his first of 2013 here tonight. Brandon Phillips congratulating Derek Robinson on making his big league debut here tonight. Made his debut, hit the ball, got on base. Get those first initial butterflies out of the way for Derek Robinson. Still looking for that first big league hit. First big league start.
I wonder if he may get a start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Nationals are running a left-hander out there, Ross Detweiler. He's a tough one, too. He won 10 games last year to face Mike Leake. You wonder if maybe they'll give Jay Bruce a day off against a lefty, day game after night game kind of thing.
Tomorrow's game is at 1:10. We'll have it for you right here in Fox Sports Ohio, 12:30 with Reds Live. Jim Day, Jeff Pecoro. Frazier hits it the other way. Chased out there by Worth to the wall. Gone. Todd Frazier. A multi-home run game for him. And how about 5 of them now in this game for the Reds? 5 long balls for Cincinnati tonight. 2 of them by Frazier. His 3rd of the year. With a runner on. Been a 3-run inning. And it's now 10-0 Cincinnati.
Now they're having some kind of fun in that Reds dugout after a 3-game series against the Angels, which did not see a lot of offense. The Reds have got the whipping sticks out tonight. Todd Frazier, who went deep into the upper deck in left field his first time up. Here goes Oppage. And plants into the first few rows of the right field moon deck, and Reds have put 10 of them on the board.
Wow.
And you know what Mike Leake is thinking sitting in the dugout right now? He's thinking, guys, save a few for me tomorrow.
Indeed. Visit to the mound by the pitching coach of the Nationals, Steve McCaddy. Zach Duke was all but out of this game had the Nationals not hit into the double play ball in the 7th inning. He goes back out there. He's been knocked around for 3 more runs. Second 2-homer game of the career of Todd Frazier. He did it in mid-May last year in New York. Doesn't hit tonight against the Nationals. Cozart, his first multi-home run game of his career came here tonight. He pops this one up to the shortstop Desmond for out number 2.
All right. The 2 home run balls that Todd Frazier hit, this one was a home run ball that went way up into the second deck in left field. He stays right on that, but really look at the one on the right here. Look how his eyes are just right on that baseball. I mean, that is perfect form right there. Drives it to right field and picks up a 2-bomb night.
Now, we said Devin Mesoraco was going to make his debut for this year tomorrow. He'll make it here as he pinch hits for Ryan Hannigan, getting his first at bat of 2013. Hits the ball hard, hits it into center, and another Reds hit. Their 14th of this game.
Well, that's about the way he hit the ball down in spring training, where he just played his way right onto this roster. He came into camp, did not have a guaranteed spot on the roster. They brought in Miguel Olivo, a veteran, 10-year veteran, and they said, Devin Mesoraco, you're going to have to earn your way. And he came prepared to swing, to throw the baseball, to catch, improves in all those areas. Our Munchins Furniture Exmo right there, another base hit for the Reds and a first one of the year for Devin Mesoraco.
We talked about the kind of spring he had. He hit .326 and really cooled off at the end of spring with a couple of home runs. Drove in 11 during the spring. Manny Parra batting for himself. He worked the 7th. Allowed the double to Espinoza. Then with the help of Brandon Phillips was able to get the double play ball off the bat of Suzuki. He'll work again in the 8th. Parra equaling the number of at-bats he had all of last year with Milwaukee, this being his first of the year. He had 1 last year. And he's going to get himself a base hit into left field. It drops in front of Harper. Now, when things are going right, they go right for everybody, I guess.
Pretty good swing by Manny Parra.
Going to serve that ball
he stayed right in there. That's a little cut fastball or a flat slider right there by Zach Duke, and that's what's going to send Duke to the showers.
Career 183 hitter Manny Parra gets the 15th hit of the night for the Reds. The last man that'll face the left-hander Zach Duke. He leaves. The new pitcher comes on for the Nationals. Our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen is Henry Rodriguez. question, and the answer prior to Chu, who was the last player to score 4 or more runs in their first 3 games with the Reds. You were waiting for this answer, Chris, and here it is. How about Joe Randa?
The Joker.
Back in 2005.
He hit that 3-run home run on opening day, right?
Yeah, he sure did. Joe Randa in 05. Chris Steins and John Nunley back in 97. Aaron Johnson in 1964. But the last, Joe Randa, 2005, scored 4 runs in the first 3 games wearing the Cincinnati Reds uniform. Yeah, there's the ones we're talking about right there. Another big crowd here tonight at the game. 28,102. 2A102.
Was that 28,102 you said?
28,101 now.
Yep. A lot of people are going to be hanging around to watch these Friday night fireworks.
Big fireworks during the game. Joel Luckup gave me a note, said the last time the Reds hit 5 home runs in a game was July of last year at Colorado. Not surprising. July the 28th of last year at Colorado, the last time the Reds hit 5 home runs in a game. Meanwhile, new pitcher on is Henry Rodriguez. Takes over for Zach Duke.
Not to be confused with the
third baseman,
Henry Rodriguez, that was in camp with the Reds.
Right, down in Louisville.
Flat out hit.
Yeah. By the way, we were given a note earlier that Billy Hamilton stole 3 bases tonight in Louisville for the Louisville Bats, his first 3 in AAA, but then left the game with a shoulder injury, the extent of which we know nothing about. We hear something about it, we'll let you know. Of course, Tony Cingrani, what a debut he had last night in that game. 6 innings of no-run, no-hit, 14 strikeout baseball for Louisville. Pitched up here last year, late in the year out of the bullpen. Terrific this spring with the Reds, and wow, what a debut last night. Billy Hamilton in his AAA debut last night, 1 for 4. Louisville ended up winning that game on a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 9th by Felix Perez, a fellow we saw a decent amount in spring training. They won that game 4-3 over Toledo. Chu draws the walk. He's on base for the 3rd time tonight, meaning now he has been on base 10 times in his 20 plate appearances so far this year. There's a Rocco over to 3rd and Parra down to 2nd base. Those like Korean fans getting a picture of Chu. Now Xavier Paul is going to bat for Chris Heisey. Dusty Baker getting some of his regulars out of there early in this game, which now sits at 10-0 Reds.
I think it happens for 2 reasons. One, you get your regular out and give them a rest. The other is you get your extra guys who are used to playing nearly every day in spring training, and then they open the season and you sit the bench. So you're trying to keep those guys always a little bit fresh. Tell you what, if you're facing Henry Rodriguez, he is normally one of the harder throwers in the league. You're sitting around the bench all night and you're nice and relaxed and you're watching the Reds put 15 hits on the board. All of a sudden you hear your name called and you're up there facing a guy throwing it in the high 90s.
Paul's 0 for 2. Reached on an error on opening day. Struck out on Wednesday. Appearing for the 3rd time this year, all off the bench. Last year with the Reds, he had .314. couple of homers, 7 RBIs. Of course, he was with the Nationals. AAA club at Syracuse last year. Opted for free agency, signed with the Reds, went to Louisville for a short time, continued to hit very well. Called him up, did a wonderful job for the Reds off the bench. Hard-throwing Henry Rodriguez. It's a ball to a high, deep drive, grand slam, pinch hit grand slam. Xavier Paul, 14-0 Reds. Grand slam of the career of Xavier Paul in the big leagues.
And that was a no-doubter.
Wow. Six of them now. 6 home runs in this game. Mesoraco, Parra, Chu all score in front of Paul. Now Hanahan batting for Votto. Let's take another look.
Well, that was pretty much down around the knees, a little bit above the knees, and that's the zone for most left-handers, and Xavier Paul just gives it a ride.
Taking a look back here, last year the Reds hit 3 grand slams. One by Ludwig, one by Votto, one by Mesoraco. They get their first of the year here tonight. A pinch hit shot.
Boy, what a nice young man, too, Xavier Paul is. A hard worker, very appreciative of his time in the major leagues. He came to spring training, even though he had the team made. He came ready to go. He was going to fight for that job in case he had to, and he's been a very nice fit for this ball club.
Hanahan at 2-1, and he lines it back up the middle and a base hit. The first hit of the Reds' career of Jack Hanahan, who had been 0 for 1 so far this year. Reds hit around here in the 7th inning.
Jack celebrated the birth of his second baby about 2 weeks ago. It was a St. Patrick's Day baby. He and his wife found a house to move into up here in Cincinnati, and he's all settled in, and now that he's got his first hit out of the way, it's all downhill from here.
All good things, right?
Oh, absolutely right.
Here comes now Steve McCaddy out again. Talking about those grand slams that the Reds hit last year. The fact that one of them came off the bat of Joey Votto on Mother's Day against the Nationals. Remember this?
I think that was Henry Rodriguez, too, if I'm not mistaken. Take a look at that picture on the mound.
It was.
Same guy that Xavier Paul just took deep for a grand slam.
And that was on May the 13th last year, Mother's Day. The Reds burned Henry Rodriguez then, and they do it again to him here tonight. Now Cesar Izturis is batting for Brandon Phillips. 11th man to bat in the inning. Reds have scored 7 times. Lead 14-0 on the ground to the right side, and Espinosa will make the play and throw on to first. He retires his tourist to end the inning, but not before 7 cross the plate. The big blow, grand slam, pinch hit shot, Xavier Paul. Coverage of the Reds with you this season. MLB.TV is celebrating 11 years, so make sure you catch every Reds Out of Market game live online or on your favorite mobile devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. Visit Reds.com to order. Get all the details. It's MLB.TV. Baseball everywhere. Changes for the Reds. There's a new first baseman, Jack Hanahan. He pinch hit. He's at first base now. Cesar Izturis made the last out of that big inning. He's now at second, replacing Brandon Phillips. And out in left field, Xavier Paul, the pinch hit grand slam. He takes the place of Heisey in left. And there's finally Devin Mesoraco, who had a pinch hit single. He's now behind the plate. In that regard, with the changes like that, it seems like a spring training game, doesn't it?
The score is like a spring training game.
14 runs, 17 hits for the Reds in this game. It's 6 home run balls. 2 by Frazier, 2 by Cozart, 1 by Chu. And then that pinch hit grand slam by Xavier Paul give the Reds 6 home runs in this game. Last did that in August of 2011. Paul will chase this ball into the gap, slide, not get it. That one is going to be extra bases. And into second base with a double is Lombardozzi, pinch hitting for the pitcher Henry Rodriguez. Steve Lombardozzi gets the pinch hit double to start the top of the 8th. Top of the order now, Denard Span. Span in this game has been on twice. He walked in the 3rd. He's singled in the 5th. That means he has hit safely in each of the 4 games the Nationals have played.
Well, in the long run, Denard Span really ought to help this ball club, the Nationals. They've been looking for a leadoff hitter. They haven't had a legitimate leadoff hitter there. I mean, a guy that they could pencil in the lineup every day. I mean, it's been one guy for a few weeks and another guy for a few weeks. Span lifetime is an on-base percentage of around 360, close to it anyway. And his first time through the National League, he may surprise a few teams and surprise a few pitchers until they really figure out how to pitch to him.
They certainly thought enough of Span to go ahead and acquire him in a trade and then trade away Michael Morris to the Seattle Mariners.
He's a hometown guy too, born right there in the District of Columbia.
Manny Parr worked the seventh, 3 batters. Gave up the double to Espinoza, got the double play ball and the line drive to Phillips off the bat of Suzuki. Gives up the leadoff double here in the 8th inning to the pinch hitter Steve Lombardozzi. And that's ball 4.
Yeah.
Fox Saturday Baseball returns tomorrow with 3 great matchups as Josh Hamilton returns to Texas as the Rangers host the Angels, or the Yankees battle the defending AL champion Tigers, or St. Louis taking on World Series champion San Francisco Giants. The debut of Fox Saturday Baseball returns tomorrow at 4 p.m. Double and a walk is how this 8th inning has begun for the Nationals. Now ball 1 to Worth.
I'll tell you, you watch Manny Parr warm up, and I watch him throw a lot of bullpens and watch him pitch down in spring training, and you wonder how he gets hit, because he has crisp stuff. I mean, his fastball's got a lot of movement. He's got a very sharp breaking ball. He runs into control problems from time to time. But his earned run average is over his career. When he's been all with the Brewers. From the low 4.2s to the, high 4.8. In that range right there. And his stuff doesn't translate to that high of an earned run average. If you further delve into the numbers, he has control problems, and usually guys that can't spot their fastball for strikes can't spot their fastball for quality strikes, and you end up throwing the ball down the middle. The Reds, however, hope that with the work that Brian Price can do with him and the way they use him out of the Reds bullpen, that he can be a valuable member down there. What Brian Price has done for this pitching staff over the last few years, I mean, you cannot overestimate it.
Former Seattle pitching coach, former Diamondbacks pitching coach.
You just look collectively as a team. Yeah, I mean, they've gotten older and more experienced, and sometimes, you bring in a good pitcher like Matt Latos, and Johnny Cueto matures, and Homer Bailey matures, but if you just look from an aggregate standpoint, the number of walks that have gone down over year after year since Price has been here, that's been the big thing. And their earned run average has gone down also. In fact, I thought it was interesting that of all the coaches that the Reds have on their staff, Chris Spire, who took over for Dusty Baker when Dusty was sick last year at the very end of the year, was the interim manager. Mark Berry, who's been a third base coach for a long, long time. He's managed in the minor leagues before. The only one of those coaches, Billy Hatcher, who went on a serious interview for a managerial job, was Brian Price.
With the Miami Marlins, yes. Worth chases that 2-2 pitch in the dirt. He's a strikeout victim, the first out here in the top of the 8th.
Well, that's a changeup right there. The bottom just drops out of it. I mean, 3 quality pitches. nice moving fastball, a really sharp breaking slider, and a good changeup.
Reds lead this game 14-0. They have 17 hits. They've out hit the Nationals 17-4. Last time the Reds scored at least 14 runs is when they produced 15 in a game late May of 2010 against the Houston Astros. They scored 15 in that game. They had 19 hits on the 3rd of April against Milwaukee last year. Tonight, 14 runs, 17 hits. Bryce Harper, who's had a pair of hits in each of the first 3 games this year for Davey Johnson's club, hitless tonight. He's in the hole here, 0-2. In fact, he's not been on base. He's flied out, grounded out, popped up.
Well, Bryce Harper has to remember Great American Ballpark, right? And he'll be the first one to tell you that this ballpark is made out of some tough cement. Because wasn't it after one of his frustrating at-bats when he came in here as a Washington National, he took a bat to a cement wall underneath the dugout?
You know, you might be right about that.
And the bat bounced off the wall and came back and hit him above the eye, and it cut him open. He went out to the field the next inning, and he was dripping blood all over his face. They eventually took him out of the ball game.
Mind of yours is a steel trap to center. Chu has it. 2 out.
Just funny what you remember.
So after a double and a walk, a strikeout and a flyout, and now Ryan Zimmerman bats. 2 on, 2 out here in the 8th. After 3 straight 1-run games, actually 2 1-run games and a 3-1 game on opening day, 3 tightly contested contests between the Reds and the Angels. An old-fashioned blowout here tonight, 14-0 in the top of the 8th.
Both these managers tomorrow morning will be after their ball clubs to forget what happened tonight.
Yeah, you're right.
And for different reasons.
Davey Johnson will say, put it behind you.
Absolutely. And Dusty Baker will say, hey, what you did last night's not going to help you today.
Can't carry any of that over.
But nonetheless, if you've got a choice to be made between being in that Reds dugout or being at the helm of the Washington Nationals dugout, I can tell you where you want to be.
Now we'll get through the respective rotations tomorrow with Mike Leake going for the Reds against Ross Detweiler, the lefty, for the Nationals. His Turris will throw out Zimmerman at first. Make that 2 left for the Nationals. Middle of the 8th, 14-0 Redlegs. Hall of Fame and Museum this season to check out the Joe Morgan exhibit. Check the inside look, get the inside look, I should say, into the career of Joe Morgan with never before seen items from his personal collection, including game-used equipment, rare photos, memorabilia, and much more. Plan your next visit to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum by visiting redsmuseum.org today. You guys had Joe on opening night. Opening day he was here, right?
Always great to visit with Joe Morgan, the Hall of Famer. Well, what a great perspective he has on the game. And, of course, he's tight with Walt Jocketty and Bob Castellini serving as an advisor to both of those. He was in spring training nearly the entire time, watching the ball club. Good to have Joe around.
New pitcher on is Ryan Matthews. He becomes the 4th pitcher of the night for the Nationals as Bruce leads it off. Shoots this ball down the left field line and fair into the corner. Harper will dig it out, get it back in. Jay has a 2-double night. Let's hope this is, even though it's a non-pressure situation, the start of a little turnaround for him.
Well, I think for him, it's putting the ball in play, because he's been swinging and missing a lot, and when he starts hitting the ball the other way, that shows you that at least you're keeping your front side in. Goes right on the chalk line. In fact, all of his hits have been doubles, right?
Yeah, 3 hits, all doubles, all the other way.
Wow, that's going to be our trivia question tomorrow night.
Here's Todd Frazier. Oh, he's had a big night. 3 for 4, 3 RBIs, a pair of home runs. Second multi-home run game of his career. He had one last year. Gets one early this year. He goes the other way here with his 4th hit of the night. They're going to send the runner and make it 15-0. A 4 for 5 night for Todd Frazier. That's a career high for the young man out of New Jersey.
Boy, they are dancing in the streets of Toms River tonight.
Here's Zach Cozart.
It's a rare run right there that the Reds scored without hitting a homer.
Yeah.
I think 18 of 26. 19 of 26 they have scored via the home run.
Four RBIs also ties a career high for Frazier. So a new hit total for him in his career, 4. Ties an RBI total with 4. Gives him 6 on the year. 19 hits now for the Reds in this game. Cozart, his first multi-home run game of his career. That one came in the 2nd inning. Davey Johnson came out, didn't ask for a review. And this 3-run blast in the 3rd, definitely a no-doubter. Ball gets away here from Suzuki. Down to second base goes Frazier. It's a wild pitch on Ryan Matthews. San Francisco and Barry Zito beat the Reds today. Beat the Cardinals, I should say, today 1-0. So the next Reds opponent after this series concludes, St. Louis, they're off to a 1-3 start. banged up a little bit this year.
They are banged up a little bit.
Left side of their infield, they thought would be Furcal and Freeze. Totally different right now due to injury. In case of Furcal, he's out for the year. That one will get out of play. Texas won today at home. Josh Hamilton makes his return to Arlington. Rangers won that game 3-2, and so the Angels, picked by many to be the representative in the American League of the World Series, they get off to a 1-3 start. Ozark strikes out on that 2-2 pitch. He's got a 2-for-4 night. That's the first out of the inning. Homer Bailey went 6 tonight for the Reds. No runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, making it 4 games, 4 quality starts for the Reds. Mike Leake will try to make it 1 time through the rotation and 5 starts and 5 quality starts. Mesoraco, a pinch hit single his last time. His first time up this year. Stayed in the game. Went behind the plate. Now he bats for the second time tonight. Ross Detweiler, a lefty, will go for the Nationals tomorrow. 10-game winner for them 1 year ago. He started game 4 of the National League Division Series against the Cardinals. It's J.J. Hoover. He's already made 2 appearances this year, throwing in the Reds bullpen. Mesoraco with a runner aboard, a run in. 1 out here in the 8th. Now he's in the hole, 1-2. Steve Lombardozzi, by the way, who pinch hit, stayed in the game. He's now at third base for the Nationals in the 9 spot in the order. And Matthews is actually in the 4 hole. Ryan Zimmerman leaves the game. Lombardozzi had that pinch hit double top of this inning. So tomorrow at 1:10, Sunday at 1:10, and on to St. Louis in the first road trip of the season. Sees the Reds play a late afternoon game on Monday. That'll be the Cardinals' home opener, right?
Yes, it will be.
And a night game on Tuesday and an afternoon game on Wednesday. So you'll have, actually you're not going to Pittsburgh, are you? So say you have a day and a half in Pittsburgh Wednesday night and all day the off day Thursday.
Man, I'll be sorry to miss that.
You will, I know. Think of the things that you're going to miss out on. You're already done thinking about it. Mesoraco strikes out, so he follows Kozar with a punch out. 2 men out. Talking about Sunday, the game is at 1:10 here. Sunday, NASCAR heads to Martinsville for the 2nd short track race of the year. Daytona 500 champion Jimmy Johnson looks for his 7th career victory, while defending champion Ryan Newman tries to defend his title. Fox Sports exclusive coverage of Sprint Cup Series racing begins Sunday, 12:30 Eastern Time.
Thinking about that Cardinal team, you know, they'll have 3 different opening days that they would have participated in this year. They were the opening day in Arizona when they played the Diamondbacks to start the season. They started the series today in San Francisco, which was opening day for the Giants.
Right.
And of course, they'll host the Reds on Monday afternoon.
They'll be tired of lining up on the foul line.
They'll be veterans of opening day, yeah.
Reds will participate in 2 this year, although they really do 2 at home, so they have 3 themselves. They do opening day, opening night on Wednesday, and then they'll do it in St. Louis on Monday afternoon.
Good point. Well, that time off in Pittsburgh ought to give you plenty of time to go over there and visit the Andy Warhol Museum.
Well, now, I won't be coming in there until late Thursday night, so I'll miss out on that day, almost all of that day and a half also. Then, of course, I'll have to get together with the former Red, Sean Casey, Hall of Famer, and discuss the Pirates and the upcoming 3 games that he and I will work together there.
Be nice hearing Case on the air again.
Manny Parra batting for himself. Shoots this ball to the wall in left center, and it's run down by Denard Span. And so the bottom of the 8th ends with just 1 run crossing the plate for the Reds. So we will go to the 9th up 15-0. Big offense for the Reds here tonight against this Nationals ball club. Look at the comparison of what they did against that team a year ago.
Small sample size tonight, but you got to enjoy it and have some fun with it when it happens. It doesn't happen very often that you put 15 runs on the board. But the Reds have been playing pretty good baseball. They took 2 out of 3 against the Los Angeles Angels. Many people thought that that ball club should be a favorite in the American League West. A lot of people think this Nationals club should be a favorite in the National League East and maybe even the best team in the National League overall.
Yeah, there are those who say the Nationals and the Angels will be the representatives in the World Series.
They look good on paper, there's no doubt. And don't be misled by the score of this ball game tonight. The Nationals can come back and play a very good game. What you don't see in a game like this is one of their strengths, which is their bullpen. And people will tell you that they are as good as this Reds bullpen. So for all those who thought that this series would be a low-scoring 3-game set, hasn't been that way so far.
New pitcher on, the busy J.J. Hoover on for the 3rd time this year. He gets Tyler Moore, who took over at first base for Adam LaRoche. Moore batting for the first time in this game. In fact, he's batting for the first time this year.
Young man from Brandon, Mississippi, Tyler Moore is. Down around Cowboys neighborhood.
Sure is.
In fact, he went to Mississippi State. He's got some kind of power, too. 25 years old.
There's an instant connection then between Tyler Moore and the Cowboy.
Played 75 games last year, had 156 ABs for the Nationals, and about 10 home runs. So he's got some pop.
Yeah, he's been a power guy coming up through the Nationals organization. 30-plus homers in A-ball in 2010. 30-plus homers the following year in Double-A. For this spring for them. Hoover gets him to reach for that pitch and pop it up. Cozart will handle it, and that is the first out here in the 9th inning. Batter will be Ian Desmond, the shortstop. He's 0 for 3. He's fanned twice. Reds pitchers tonight have walked 4, struck out 7. Mentioned Bailey. No runs, 2 hits, and 6. Manny Parra, 2 innings, no runs, 2 hits, a walk, a strikeout. Hoover trying to close things out. Danny Espinosa waits on deck. Dusty Baker's club. He talks with Derek Robinson there, looking to go 3-1 after losing on opening day. Looking to reel off their 3rd consecutive win. A couple of 1-run games, 5-4, 5-4. Games 2 and 3 of that Angels series. And a blowout tonight, 15-0 now here in the top of the 9th. J.J. Hoover, impressive last year when he was with the Reds, impressive down at AAA Louisville. He was closing down there, saving games. Talked with him during spring training. He said, yeah, down the road, I'd love to see myself given the opportunity to close games. He said, we have some awfully good pitchers right here that are doing it now. Solidly hit into left center by Desmond. He's going to get himself a 2-base hit out of it, his first hit of this game, and only his 2nd hit of the year. He's 2 out of 14. So the batter will be Danny Espinosa. Switch hitter has a pair of the 5 hits that the Nationals have tonight. Single in the 3rd. He doubled back in the 7th. Talked about the Reds being finished early with this Nationals team again this year. They'll play over there 4 times against Washington later this month. Thursday the 25th through Sunday the 28th. 2 night games, 2 day games. The Reds will be finished with them in the regular season. Chu retreats on this ball. Onto the track. He hauls it in. Espinosa retired, and out number 2. Now Kurt Suzuki strides toward the plate, representing what the Reds will hope will be the 27th and final out of this game. 28,000 plus, 28,102 here tonight. Many of them now onto their feet, looking to see the Reds go to 3-1. And a ball hit in the air to left. Hall is there. Reds win 15-0. The Reds bats explode here tonight, and they go to 3-1. One of the biggest offensive outbursts we've seen from this club in many a time. 15-0 Reds a winner. Back with more from the ballpark after this.